Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela, and if you weren't already aware, this is Reading on My Shelf. As you can see from the title, I'm a little bit behind than everybody else, but I'm always there. I'm always the last one there. I have shopped my shelves and I have picked 25 books that I would like to get to in 2025. If I don't, I'm not punishing myself. I just thought to myself, there's quite a few books that I keep thinking, I think about it and I think, I want to try and read that, but I'm in the middle of reading this and then I forget about it. So I thought I'd give myself a bit of a pile. Some books I've had for a good few years. Some books numerous times I thought I want to read that, so hence I've kind of picked them up. Some books have been popular, whether it be on Book Talk or BookTube. Some books have had good reviews, some books have had bad reviews, some books are classics, so hopefully I have picked quite a variety. Now I'm not going to go a lot into them. I will tell you briefly if I know anything about them, because let's face it, with 25 books I haven't got that much time. You know the drill. If you do enjoy this video, do please give me a thumbs up. Just encourages me and tells me you like this sort of content. Subscribe my channel if you don't already do so. I am trying to grow my channel. And comment down below if you've read any of these books, if you enjoyed them, if you ended up DNFing them, if you have any recommendations which ones I should read first. Please no spoilers in the comments, because like either I've maybe not, obviously I've not read any of them, but somebody else who might come across my comments and want to read them and they haven't, I don't want to spoil them. So let's get down to this video, and hopefully will not be too long. So first one is The 13th Tale by Diana Summerfield. I have no idea what this is about. I've heard really good things about it. I say I have no idea what it's about. I've read about it before. So we've got Margaret opens the door to the past that she what she confronts was her destiny. So yeah, but I've heard so much good about that, and like I say, I've thought about reading it all the time. Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is a book I had on my wish list for ages. Isn't this about, so it says, you took away my wealth, my privacy, my energy, my time, my safety, my intimacy, I can't say, my confidence, my own voice until today. Now, is this not about somebody who, she's known to the world as Emily Doe when she's stunned millions with a letter. So we've got Brock Turner, who had been sentenced to 6 months in county jail after he was found sexually assaulting her on the Stanford campus, and I think it's her voice, she's a victim. And as I say, I kind of had I heard about it and had it on my wish list for ages. Again, I picked this up last year, The List of Suspicious Things by Jenny Godfrey. This is set in the 70s. And it's not a true story about I nearly called him Jack the Ripper. He's not, he's called the Yorkshire Ripper. I'm originally from Yorkshire. My family from Yorkshire. I remember this happening. I remember the Yorkshire Ripper. Now this is, I want to say that the girls, are they not actually based in Yorkshire? Not Yorkshire, the North East. I could be totally wrong there. But it's set in Yorkshire 1979, and it's about the murders. It's a tale, and I believe there's friends who try to solve the mystery, so I think I'll find that quite interesting. And again, I kept trying to pick it up. I've heard so much about this one. Sweet Pea by CJ Klutz, is it? Or whatever you call it. I know this is a TV series. I've heard really good things about it. I think also I've heard, though, I think the rest of the series isn't so good. I don't know. I've wanted to read it for a good while. Isn't she going around killing people? I haven't killed anyone for 3 years, and I thought that was that when it happened again, I'd feel bad. So isn't it, if she doesn't like people, she kills them? And like I say, there's a TV series on something, I want to say Netflix or something like that. A book I've heard a lot about, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldwin. I do have the second one. I've had this on my shelves for a couple of years. Again, I've heard mixed reviews, but I think majority of it, people have enjoyed it. And I want to say she is she a troll, or she's anyway, she decides to open a coffee shop. High fantasy, low stakes, good company. I'm trying to see what she is. Is she an ogre or a orc? Oh, Viv is an orc. But so yes, after decades of adventuring, she decides to open a coffee shop, and I believe the people the people maybe have never had coffee, and therefore that's supposed to be really good. Fourth Wing I have, and I don't think you can see it here, actually Iron Flames there, and I believe the next one's coming out. There was a load of hype about it. Again, I feel this is a fantasy. I want to say it's got dragons in it, I could be wrong. Some people have loved it. I think it's a Marmite book. She is a fighter, isn't she? She fights. It's by Rebecca Yarros. She's joining a war college training, and she's, yeah, I think there's some romance in it. We'll see. Sometimes it's nice to go in with a little bit. Well, majority of it has been a surprise. Then we've got Horror Star, is it? The novel by Graham D. Hendricks. It is the one that's supposed to be a little bit like the IKEA. There's a murder. People, do they stay overnight to try and solve it? Yeah, and that's always intrigued me. Actually, that looks like it's going to be quite a short book, but I have heard good things about that one. We have Geneva by Richard Armitage. This is a thriller. Richard Armitage is an actor I discovered when he played Mr. Thornton in North and South. Loved that years ago. And I've seen him in other things since, but this is his first novel, and I bought it last year, so 2024, and wanted to read it. Obviously, I think it's another isolated thriller. There'll be a murder in it. I want to see if I'm impressed with his writing again. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackman. I've picked this up because, again, there's a series on it, and I keep seeing advertised, you know, when you a suggestion to watch. And again, I feel that this is, people say the first book's really good. I want to say, I'm not sure how many's in the series, but isn't it she goes 5 years ago the girl was murdered. The police know who did it. Everybody in town knew he did it. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I think it's a trilogy, I think. But I thought I'd give it a go. I do, as normal, have to have a drink, because you can probably hear I've still got a sore throat. And this is well over a month. The Bandit Queens, Patini, Sheriff, I don't know how you say it. Anyhow, this was it shortlisted? It was definitely in the Women's Prize for Fiction nominated. I want to see in 2023. This is the one about where the woman's husband disappeared, and people suspect she murdered him, and the other women of the community who are basically fed up with their husbands go to her. So it's Greta. She's enjoying the life of being a widow, and as I say, people's misconceptions, maybe they're not misconceptions because I haven't finished it, I've never read it, but they kind of go to her and kind of say, how can we bump our husbands off, I suppose. So yes, Hamlet by Maggie O'Farrell. Again, I've got probably about 3 copies of this, heard so much about it, that it's really good. This is although he's never mentioned in the book, or he's never named. This is supposedly the story of Shakespeare's son who died or dies. Oh, it says there, winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2020. It's set in 1596. Yeah, what does it say? A young girl in Stratford-upon-Avon takes to her bed with a sudden fever, and her twin brother Hamlet searches everywhere for help. Why is nobody home? I'm sure he dies in it, but I've heard really good things about it. Black Book. This is about a young chap who starts in a coffee shop, hence there's a coffee thing on the front. I think it's set in America, and above him is some building, you know, like a business enterprise building, and he gets a job, I'd say, on the ground floor. So he starts off in the coffee shop, I think, then gets a job, I'm saying something like the mail room, and he works his way up. Sales is the American as slavery, and American as long overdue new salesman. It is a, so like, yes, it's, but it's good. I'd heard reviews about that one. I know I'm not very good at these things. Poppy War, oh gosh, that's a bookmark, fell out, by R.F. Kwan. They trained her for war, she tends to end it. Yes, I heard so much about it, and I've actually probably, I think I've got 2 versions of this, and for some reason 2 bookmarks in it. Anyhow, she was a peasant, she was a student, she is a soldier, she is a goddess. So yes, looking forward to that one. Like I say, I've got 2 versions of that as well. This one, Kirsten Hanna's The Nightingale. I did message Emily from Novell Novels, because I know she loves Kirsten Hanna, and asked her which one's the best, because I've got a few on my shelves, and which was the best one to start. I believe this is about 2 sisters in Paris. Does one disappear? Apparently it is, this will break me. One of the sisters let a Nazi into their apartment? Yeah. And that's only because I've heard somebody recently read it on Book Talk. Then I've got Kindred by Olivia E. Butler. This is the one, doesn't she time travel? In 1976, Diana dreams of being a writer. In 1815, she's a slave, and I'm sure she travels between the 2 timelines. So it says, when she first meets him on the Maryland plantations, he's drowning, she saves his life. So that's Rufus, and it will happen again and again. Neither of them understand his power to summon her whenever his life is threatened. Very good. This, just reading these back, you know, really makes me want to read them. Sooner or later, I'm just grabbing the pile. Again, likewise, Educated by Tara Westover. Now, a memoir. I was going to say, isn't this a memoir? And isn't it about... It says it's unflinching account of love, brutality, of the strength of blood ties and the power of imagination. Now, isn't she part of... I'm nearly saying something like the Mormons, but I think it's that kind of... Of course, when you're trying to skim read, it doesn't tell you, but I think she's kind of she hasn't been registered for birth certificate, she has no school records because she's never set foot in a classroom, and no medical records because her father didn't believe in doctors or hospitals. According to the state and federal government, she does not exist. But I want to say I thought it was to do with sort of a communities, like isolated communities. But again, I heard so much. This one, just because I fancy reading it, Kieran Millwood Hargreaves, Julia and the Shark. And I just fancied reading it. Been on my shelf for ages. I've got the other one, something about, now does she write the one about the blue fox? I had to, because I had them both, and I had to look which one was which. Of course this won't tell me, but I've heard really good things about this. I was going to say there's something else I've got, and I'm not sure. There's another one I've got anyway, so yeah. But I think that'll be a quick read, and I need to do it because I wanted to read it. Orion's Lost by Alexander Chisholm is they're millions of miles from home and somebody is lying to them. Just because I think it's is it a middle grade step into science fiction. I think it'll be a good introduction to science fiction, because science fiction isn't my first genre I go to. It's the one that I'm about, but I want to give it a go and I want to try different genres. There's a ship in space lost, and I have heard, again, like I say, really good things about it. So yes, I'm hoping these books don't fall. Likewise, I have the other book of this one. This is The Lost Bear by Hannah Gold. I've got the other one as well, and I can't think what it's called. I've got the other one, so but I had to Google to see which one came first because I wanted to read the first one. But again, I've had this, as I keep saying, I've had them on my shelves for ages, and I've heard they're really good. And this is their friendship will change everything. So yes, but she could have sworn she'd just seen a polar bear. April blinked again, so she must have been, April must be, I'm presuming, well it must be, because it looks like a little girl and she finds a bear. And it's, I think it's supposed to be really touching. And apparently this is a Waterstones exclusive edition again. Classic I've never read. I have seen the original movie, which I was going to say with Laurence Olivier, I think it is, who plays the part in it. But it is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. So I know the story, I know the conclusion, I know what happens, and I've only ever seen the old black and white movie and thoroughly enjoyed it. She's on holiday, isn't she, with, I'm going to say her aunt, or she's a sort of a companion for somebody. She meets, I can't think what you call him, and Maximus de Winter, a handsome widower. He falls in love with her, remarries, and it's a story of when she goes back to Mandalane again. And yes, how it's a bit creepy, a bit, I'm not going to say is it gothic, but it's a kind of, there's a bit of a mystery to it, what happened to his first wife and stuff, but I'm looking forward to that. A book of of 2024 that quite a few people were talking about, I think more on TikTok. But that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah Parker. He's fire, he's brimstone, he's shattered ice. I'll gladly burn beneath him until the world comes crumbling down. And this is a nice addition. This is, yes, he's a dragon, obviously, I think. I'm sure he's a dragon. Well, it will do, because it says When the Moon Hatched. This is a nice addition. I don't know much more about it, just that people have, I think that looks like, well, from the end pages, a bit of romance, and people have raved on about that one. So I thought I'd give it a go. Again, Tempest of Tea. There's another one out, hasn't there? There's one been after. I pre-ordered this. I really fancied when I'd heard about it. and I never got round to reading it. So that's again, like I say, thought I'm going to read it. I'm going to want to read that one. So, oh, the streets of white roaring grows fangs at night, when the moon dragged a claw and the shop fronts cut dim, and those who crave blood walked bold. So that sounds very good. What we're saying here, join the high stakes heist into the dark vampire underworld. Again, excited, and never pick them up. This is why I've sort of tried to put 25 books aside. Then we've got Anatomy, a Love Story. Now this isn't this the one where she wants to be a doctor, but because I'm going to say it's a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. She wants to be a doctor because she's female. It is set in 1817 in Edinburgh. She wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to be married. Jack's a resuscitation man who's trying to survive in the city where it's too easy to die. And I presume both of them help each other. Again, I've had that a good few years and really fancied it. And non-fiction, and that's because I heard somebody talk about this recently. And I thought I've been reading a lot of her books, which are here at the top here. Agatha Christie, and this is Lucy Worsley's book about her, because I do love reading her mysteries, and I thought it would be nice to, although I've seen documentaries and watched YouTube videos about her, I thought it would be nice, and I think Lucy Worsley writes a good book, so that's that. And finally, I am good because I'm determined to start this, and that's Alison Weir's The 6 Tudor Queens, and I'm obviously starting at the beginning with Catherine of Aragon. Aragon, isn't it? Their true queen. So yes, 25 books. Will I get all of them read? Probably not. But I thought, although I'm going to mood read, I think I might sort of random number generate and have a number assigned to them and do it that way, because they're all books I want to read and get excited about again. Or whether I'll just have them and have a look through and think, do I fancy reading that? They're just ones I brought back to the forefront of my memory, and it was very hard because, like I said, I've got about 8 bookshelves full of books, and there were so many I wanted to read. But I thought, do you know, like I say, I was thinking, do you know, I really want to read all that. That's come back into my mind, or that's. So yes, as I say, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And yes, sorry I haven't described a lot of the books, but I'll go more into them when I've read them, and tell you a little bit about them, because obviously I didn't want the video to be too long. Take care, and I'll see you very shortly in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.